My traumatized babies and mentally ill Barbies, the dawn is breaking on the stage that holds our final destiny. And so, my traumatized babies and mentally ill Barbies, the show must go on. And on today's episode, I am curious as to why we have been getting so many being-related messages lately. I'm curious. Just want to do some investigative work here because it doesn't seem like that activity is really dying down. It seems like it's still very present. I don't know. There's some sort of disturbance in the force going on here. Wait, this is something. Okay, there is some kind of disturbance in the force. There is some sort of disturbance in the force. The beings. Now I've got poverty here with concern and message of concern. Like these are like why these messages are coming out. There's some sort of concern about whatever this is. And main female. This is just like referencing like me and other people. Most likely like I'm getting messages of like the beings are concerned. Misha, he like waits until I start filming. The beings are concerned, so they're giving messages of concern to the main female. In this case, it's me, but if y'all are noticing like the being activity as well, and y'all are bringing that through, then it's y'all. It's not exclusively me. Oh, and I guess we do. We are shuffling here. So something is going on. And I was thinking that like all today, like something's happening, but I don't know what, but I can feel it. Like there's a disturbance in the force. There's something going on in someone's house. Or there's like an enemy or something, or at least somebody who like these beings like don't like, or who is doing like active like violent work against these beings. But that's something about what's going on here, and so they're like concerned about it. Okay. All right, so let's get the tarot out, and then we will look at the primary message, and we will get more details if we need them. Oh, this has to do with the clown. Oh, I just now noticed this on the back of all of these Kipper cards. The clown. The clown is at work. That's what the disturbance in the force is. It's the clown. Is the clown an enemy? No. Not an enemy. But that's not good, whatever that is. What just flipped up was the Three of Swords. Okay. They're saying something bad's gonna happen. They're saying something bad's gonna happen. And they want like people to foresee it, to like stop it. Something bad. It's like this is giving me that main female energy. They're saying something bad is going to happen. Something bad's going to happen. That's what these beings say. We're trying to tell you something bad is going to happen. But like it's going to happen. Things are like shifting in position for something bad that's going to happen. We want you to foresee it so you can stop it, potentially. Yeah, something bad. the devil and the 10 of Pentacles. Usually I get that more about wealth here. And there's that Emperor. There's like, I'm telling you, there's like somebody. There's like somebody who is potentially up to no good here. Here they are, and it's the Emperor upside down, and then the devil. There's somebody who like potentially has like a lot of resources or something. No. Seems like they're looking to like partner up with someone. So the Clown is at their work, okay? Because I got this occupation and the Fool. If that's not the Clown, that's just somebody who's like having a good time doing what they do with their work. And then there's like this thing with the 10 of coins, that 10 of Pentacles, sudden wealth, 3 of Swords. There's something about like that Emperor, 10 of Pentacles, Devil that's like bad. There's something bad. Yes, and they're trying to say like something bad's gonna happen. Like it hasn't happened yet. It's like being deliberated, but like something bad's gonna happen. Okay, let's get some more information here. All right, occupation, the Fool. So that's either someone having a good time at their work, or that is like a reference to the Clown. The Clown is at work. I've got what flipped up was that 8 of Coins. So this is something about somebody doing something over and over again. Some sort of like active spiritual work that somebody's doing. Queen of Pentacles, High Priestess, Temperance. This is like guided work. If that's not spiritual work, that could be something like somebody's in their purpose, right? They're like aligned with like themselves and like the greater forces in whatever work they're doing. It does not have to be spiritual work. Yeah, this is somebody making something or doing something with other people. 3 of Coins, Page of Coins, 8 of Coins. That's all in the material space. I'll go around one more time. Whatever process these people are doing together, it's kind of like, oh, we've been working a long time. It's been relatively hard work. Page of Pentacles, Strength, but I mean, they've endured. They've endured to see some sort of result from this. Yes, and now they're like reinvigorated. Like they have some sort of passion. Who is that Fool? I knew the fucking devil was gonna come out. This is the Clown. I was like, in my mind, I was just like, if the devil fucking comes out, it's talking about the Clown. But I've got this 4 of Coins here, and that's like, I don't know if that's saying not the Clown. What is the 4 of Coins? Or like the Clown trying to like conceal themselves in some sort of work. And see, I haven't posted the notes that I've taken from the last transmission, like on the first yellow transmission. But it's about the work. Oh, okay, so the Clown, okay, because I was about to say, I'm so nervous about this. The Clown, despite being a chaotic neutral being, right? Oh, shit. Fuck, I'm gonna have to, oh, shit, because no one's gonna know what I'm talking about. So this is going to have to be posted after I make the video about what the Clown is actually trying to do, like what the yellow star is. Okay, So the clown has been working. The clown has been working, and they've been working a long time. There is something actually specific that the clown wants to do. And since I'm releasing this after I released that other video, what the clown has been trying to do all this time, this is the building of whatever the Tower of Babel was. I have no idea if that's an actual, like, probably not. It's not an actual tower. It's some sort of metaphor for something. But at one point, according to like the deep history, right? The stuff that we have no idea what the stories are actually referring to, but there's some sort of event that happened across cultures because the story like repeats over and over and over again in lots of different ancient cultures, that at one time we all spoke one language. And to me, I don't think that that necessarily means like people just had one language, though once we were very small, it is perhaps the case. Or what is more likely to me is that we did have multiple languages, but there was at least one common language. That's also potentially like some form of nonverbal communication or telepathy that we were able to use with each other at the time. Now, whatever the events of the Tower of Babel are describing, because we were all able to speak and work together, we were creating something. And then like some being or somebody went, oh, we can't have them doing that, because then essentially they'll be free. They'll be liberated. They're going to have power. They're going to be like us. And it was referring to whatever we're referring to as like the gods or God or Yahweh or whatever. Though I don't think in the Bible it explicitly says Yahweh. Though like it's all lumped together because of like monotheism, but I'll have to look back. I don't know if somebody was specifically named in the Bible, but like they're making the assumption that it was Yahweh. I don't know about that. But at least something stopped. Something stopped the tower from being constructed. Someone put an end to this, and it was a bad thing for us. Because if you watched that last video, it knocked us back like several evolutionary stages. And what we've been trying to do all this time, at least with Western magic, is fix that. In my opinion, the ultimate goal of phase 1 of Western magic, which like we have the potential to complete. I mean, we always have the potential to complete. It doesn't mean that we will. Is the successful creation of whatever the Tower of Babel is. Restoring communication between ourselves and likely multiple other races of multiple other beings, perhaps lost humans as well, because at that time, that's when we got like all of these like dimensional rifts and stuff. Again, my opinion. So this fool, this clown, is trying to stop the disaster of the Tower of Babel happening again, like the destruction. It's trying to prevent the destruction. But this is also in reference to like something else as well. Like there is some other like potential disaster that the clown is looking to stop. Which that confuses me, because the nature of this clown to me, as I understand it, it's saying like that's only because of people. But it also is true. Like this clown, this being does not, like it revels in creation and destruction alike, but ultimately this clown is for truth. This is a being of truth. And what is true is the Tower of Babel, whatever it was, should never have been destroyed. So ultimately, while this being does revel in destruction, ultimately it wants the project completed. It wants creation. It does not want unnecessary, useless, violent destruction. It only is there to support useful destruction, things that should be destroyed. And yes, it does revel in that. So, but there is like a weird thing about like the way this being looks at like violence and things being destroyed as well. But they're saying that has more to do with like the people, like how the people are kind of like aligning with its power. Like there's some sort of mutual thing going on here that being's not necessarily in control of, to a certain extent. Like it must play its part, no matter who is chosen to be the conductor, and it's going to go. So there's like a little bit of up to us about this. So that's what's going on here. That is the clown. Whatever the clown is, that's the clown, and that's what the clown is trying to do. But it feels very positively about something with the work this time. And it could just mean like potentially in our lifetimes, if you're watching this at a time when you're alive, hopefully, maybe not. Ooh. Okay, so now we have this sudden wealth, 3 of Swords. I'm so aggravated. But now I'm gonna have to make a video before a video. I'm a dude dressed as a dude, pretending to be another dude. Okay, sudden wealth, 3 of Swords. That was a no yes, but there is another one, okay. Okay, oh, okay. All right, I'm gonna leave that out. I got you. All right, well, I'm not quite sure. Let me look at this. Well, somebody flat out doesn't want this to happen. I'm just straight up, somebody doesn't want this to happen. I've got the Star, Justice, 10 of Cups, the World. These are all positive things that are going on here. There is somebody, and like I see them under here, that flat out doesn't want this to happen. Yes, there is someone currently watching people who are speaking public, and I'm telling you, I'm calling this the clown and like blah, blah, blah. That's like my own language. I guarantee you other people are talking about the same thing. They're potentially just using a different language. So people who are talking about this publicly are likely in some way being watched. And it's like, they're trying to like, because this is like a status quo thing. Whoever is watching this or thinks this is bad, it's like they're secretly planning some sort of move. They're secretly planning some sort of move. On the Justice card, 7 of Swords, 3 of Wands, 8 of Wands. Yeah, what they want to do is kind of write, and this is lots of wands. Knight of Wands, Page of Wands, 10 of Wands. This is like I'm going to pull on this last row for the World, and then I'm going to tell you what this little bottom of the deck message was. Whoever the person or people are who don't want this to happen, they want to keep like... It's likely humanity in general in some sort of dark age. There's like, this is some sort of like authority in the community or something like that. They don't want people, like these are like anti-liberation people. Yes, they don't want this shift. Look at this. We've got the World, the Hermit, and the Wheel of Fortune. They don't want this. They don't want this shift. And so what's going on here with that 10 of Cups or whatever, that's like everybody coming together, everybody speaking one language, like whatever that means, like all the people, all the races, like whatever that is, we've got like someone coming in, or like multiple people, like who are like, and they're going to present in a friendly way. But what they are there to do is create blockages to whatever is going on with like that work, whatever that work is. Because what I have here was under the deck was Queen of Swords, Knight of Pentacles, Eight of Swords. Whoever, and I said it's like women or like femme energy. So if you're a trans woman, or if you are a man, a straight man who is just more in line with that High Priestess Empress energy, that is also the case. Y'all would be the ones speaking about this. Whoever that is wants you to stop speaking about this. And I'm telling you, it's like this emperor, but they're presenting as friendly. They are there to cause trouble. That's what that is. But what is that sudden wealth card? That sudden wealth card is like, they might try to present, like I'm telling you, they're coming in as like somebody friendly. King of Wands, Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups is that femme energy. I told you all that. Those are the people who are giving the messages. There's somebody who's going to attempt to come in and like super, like it's going to look like they want to support you. Like this isn't going to look like someone trying to attack you. It's not even, like here's the thing. Let's say you didn't realize this person was like actually against whatever's going on here. This person would never harm you. This person would never like hurt you is what I'm saying. What they're going to do is like somehow attempt to influence you, or they're going to like try and change the message into something else. And they're going to, it's not going to look like something bad happening to you. It's actually going to look like what if we like made this like, I don't know, an actually great nonprofit and they would pump a whole bunch of money into it. So instead of you talking about this, what if we actually did like something practical and like radically changed the situation for like thousands or hundreds of houseless people within your community? Don't you think that's more like, isn't that something like worth doing? Like this is kind of, like, it's going to look something like that. It's going to look something like that. It is not going to look like an actual attack. But nonetheless, what it is designed to do is to get you to stop talking about what you're talking about. It's to get you to stop doing the work of the clown. It's to prevent the 7 jump from happening. Okay, so adjudication, the Tower. So the 7 jump is a 7 leap. This is also, I'm pretty sure, a leap year. That's why there's a very strong possibility of like something actually like working out when it comes around again this time. And it's likely because so many, it's not going to look like a bad thing. It's not going to look like a bad thing. It is a bad thing though. This adjudication Tower, this is this person. Whoever they are, this entity, they're trying to like stop the magic from happening. And they monitor for this. Like there's some sort of like monitoring. They monitor for this specifically to stop it. And if like it looks like something's going to happen, they are going to come in to talk to you. And like I'm telling you, it's going to be presented very nicely. This is not going to be something that is like scare tactics or intimidation. And that's why it has a lot of potential to work. Like I said, we're past the point in time where like people are literally going to be like murdered or burned or anything like that. We are in the time where it is far simpler to just like paint people as insane or just dissuade people in like a completely different way. I'm not saying it wouldn't potentially escalate if you like, you know, kept going. I don't know, but we're not at that point yet. So when like whoever these people are, actually we'll get information on that. Whoever these people are, what they do is monitor the energy somehow, or they monitor They would have to be monitoring how people are talking about certain things. And when a lot of people start like talking about what they know is actually the same thing, so they would know like a lot of different narratives and a lot of different ways that this stuff tends to be talked about. So they're going to be monitoring for all of this. They have some way of tracking the energy as well, and they are going to try to intercept it on the energy, because here's the thing. That's why it would seem to be happening, like, you're like, but like, especially if you're a person, if you're a person who is vibing with what I'm talking about, and you are giving, like, you know that, like, you talk about it a different way, but we're actually talking about the same thing, like, you know it, and you're thinking to yourself, oh, but I'm just, like, a little, like, YouTube person, like, I just have, like, this little podcast that, you know, we have, like, a little audience, but, like, in your own mind, you know that as far as the material world is concerned, you do not have a lot of like influence or power over it, okay? Like, you're just like, I just work my little blue collar job and that's what I do. It doesn't matter. Here's why. Because most people, well, it's probably unfair to say most, a lot of people, what they don't understand is that by the time you're seeing something happening in materiality, it is too late. By the time you start seeing a buildup of manifestations that is gathering momentum to lead into one big thing, you are already too late. It is almost impossible, once you start seeing certain manifestations in materiality, to stop the thing from happening. That's why you need to be able to detect the energy. You need to be able to stop the thing before it gathers momentum. So especially if you believe that you are an unknown or whatever, that does not matter, because what they are trying to detect is the potentiality. And if they detect potentiality in you or a community of people, they're going to come to try and stop it, because that is how you actually stop it. You don't try to stop it once it gets going. You try to stop it before it gets going. That's why. So I'm going to look at this King of Wands. Do I have the Emperor out here today? Okay. King of Wands, Emperor. Don't know. I think my King of Swords is still under the deck. But I'll use this Justice card, because this is about that Justice card, what that actually is, it is the Justice card. It's like, we need to maintain the order. That clown's not about the order. But this is actually like giving me, like, with this Emperor and King of Wands, we're talking about like a Hierophant energy, but like in a negative way. So I just want to look at this energy altogether. King of Wands, Emperor, Justice, because that is striking me as magical as well. These would be so cracked out. But whatever, okay? Like, these would be like government like agencies that actually knew something about energy or magic or something like that, or some sort of authority that would also have some sort of intelligence on energy and magic. Like, that's not just some random wizard somewhere. That is someone who is also occupying a position of some sort of worldly authority, who prefers the world as it is. Why? Because that's where they're getting their power, duh. If the world changes, then their situation changes. If you want to view paradise, simply look around and view it. Anything you want to do it. Wanna change the world? There's nothing to it. There is no... This is a public figure. Life I know that compares to pure imagination. Public figures that work together. This is a group. It's a group. Oh my Lord. They also might speak These are orators. Potentially they operate in the legal system. These could be judges, attorneys, or they are simply people who speak. They have like a public facing side, and then they have this like a cult side. They have a side that they're not showing to the public, nonetheless it exists. Hold your breath, make a wish, count to 3. Like I said, this is like a public community. Like you would, I don't know if you personally would know these people, but like the names would be names that like show up like on the local news, like at least. Yes, these are like donors. I'm telling you, like the type of plan they would have to like stop y'all like is a thing. Like they would try and stop you by being like donating generous sums of money for like some other project that would interest you. Oh my God. These people would literally like approach you, offering you like your dream job, like outside of whatever it is that you're talking about right now. Like if you, like the way they would come to me is they would be like, I don't know, they would want to help me like open like a cat shelter or an animal shelter. They would be offering me like a book deal or something like that. Like, don't you want to work in, like, didn't you want to work in publishing? Didn't you really want to do that? We think you'd be really excellent for this. Like, this is really awesome what you're doing here, but we really think that your talents would be better utilized elsewhere. And you're not really making any money doing this, so wouldn't you prefer to do paid work? So like I said, that's going to be up to y'all or up to you. It depends on what you care about, because it's not like you're going to be punished if you accept the offer. It's just we don't make the 7 jump. So what's more important to you? The world as it is and getting some sort of access to it, or changing the world? Wanna change the world? There's nothing to it. Yeah, they're like in the media. They're potentially in the media with these messages. These are like talking heads on CNN or something. Like, I'm telling you, it's not, because I've been saying, like, it's not exclusive to a specific network. And I guarantee you they would probably have like YouTube, like underground channels as well. Interesting. Yeah, this is the work that they do. So these are not like, if you hear me and you're like, oh my God, like the men in black are gonna come, and no. This isn't scary stuff. Like, these people would be really nice to you. These people would welcome you in. These people would give you a job. These people would give you money to do something likely fairly radical, like for marginalized communities, if that's where your passions are. This is not meant to terrorize you. That's like the opposite. I'm hearing because it didn't work, but they're trying to get people to leave the work of the clown. They're trying to get them to stop it. Yes, it's magic. It's magic. What's this magic? The Magician, the Knight of Wands. Because I just hold stuff up sometimes and I don't even know if I'm holding it up to the camera. Well, it's the back. Whoever is doing the work of the clown, that is magical work. That's just inherently what it is. It's magical work. Even if you're not an occultist or whatever, it's still magic. And like, there's some result that will come of it. It's likely that there will be some result. Like, that might be like what triggers like these people to come in. Like, they might wait, right? Because they're not going to chase down every single person running their mouths about what most of people we live in a society. What most of society is just going to consider like lunatic fringe shit. Like, if somebody really like in a corporate environment, like listen to what I was talking about, they would be like, oh, like that's just like Q, like she's in Q or something, or like she's a David Icke, like reptilian person. That is like the kind of stuff that whoever this organizational body is would depend on. Like, it does the work for them, which is why most things that you see in media about this stuff, like I'm telling you, everything on Gaia TV, everything Ancient Aliens, all of this stuff, all of it is designed to look like a freak show for a reason. That's why, like, most of this stuff in the media, it's always designed to like mock people. Like, they might tell you one thing, they might tell you, oh no, we're like making a serious show, but like then the producers, like when it actually comes out, it makes all the people involved look like, oh, they might be endearing, but they're laughable. Of course, nobody actually believes that. Like, these people are just freaks. These people are just weirdos. That's an agenda. Like, that's an agenda, and it's an agenda for a lot of different things. A lot of different things. Anything that diverges from the narrative, they are going to try and make it seem like a mental illness or something like that. And like legit though, like sometimes it is mental, like you need to get screened, okay? Especially if you are feeling something like extreme paranoia. Things like you're feeling very out of control, extreme paranoia. That's not anything that is going on here. If you feel like you are being shadowed or targeted or something like that, I would suggest to you, with love, that probably you are getting like valid messages from something, okay? But if it's coupled with all of that like very, very like stuff that you would describe as paranoid schizophrenia, those feelings are inside of you, intense fear, not trusting people, thinking that everybody's out to get you, please, please, please go get screened, okay? Go get screened, and you like build trust with somebody. Okay, because I like the last thing that I want to do is to feed into anybody's like actual delusions. There's reality to some stuff, and then there is actually such a thing as schizophrenia that people manage, and it's very until they start managing it and know what's going on, that can be extremely detrimental to their lives. That is not what this channel is about, okay? And the thing is, you can be having valid messages from beings, yes. Simultaneously, you can have schizophrenia. And so we want to be able to separate that out for those of y'all who do struggle with that or attempt to manage it. Because that is the path to further unwellness for you and isolation from the community. And that's not what this is about. This is about togetherness and bringing people together in trust and love. That's what this is. So if you are not feeling that way, please reach out. Okay, start building trust with like someone who specializes in whatever mental health thing that you believe that you have. And there are plenty of local people involved with that, like very, very grassroots people who are in no way involved with any type of like them or whatever, all right? Because that's also something that's designed to like keep you from being effective, okay? Believing that everything is like a them and all of that. So, that's my little PSA there, that mental health stuff does exist. I'm not someone who thinks like everything is just not something that's actually a problem for our personal wellness. There's like a trigger event. Actually, can I get a... There is like a trigger manifestation. Because like I told you, most people are just going to be like, oh, well, they're not really doing anything. What is that? This is kind of like the alarms, but what is that trigger event, if we can know? Oh, that trigger event is likely, let me get one more. Yes, one more. I'm pretty sure I'm correct, at least in the way that I talk about it. Okay, the trigger event for, like, these are alarm bells, okay? These are alarm bells, like, what sets off these people, they're like, oh, we actually need to do something, is when the clown picks the conductor. That's the trigger event. That is the manifestation. When the conductor is actually selected. And I don't know if there are multiple conductors or not. There very well might be, but that is the trigger event. these people somehow know who the conductor is. Or, no, not who the, like they have, they've got something where they can like look at potentials. Like there's a good chance that like out of this pool of people, one of these people will be the conductor of the operation. But likely what's gone on before is that whoever the conductor is, or who, like, I don't know, like maybe it's just because I wasn't paying attention before or something. Maybe people were talking about this stuff and making it very public and explicit or whatever. Most people wouldn't though, because it sounds freaking insane. I know it does. I know it sounds unhinged. In the past, when this has been attempted, the conductors haven't known what they were actually doing. Like they would have known that they had some sort of power behind them, but they would have thought it was just like political power or social power or something like that. They wouldn't have known that they were attempting to perform the 7 jump. But these people do, in whatever way that they understand the 7 jump. And so if the conductor becomes aware of what they're doing, then it's a problem. So it would have been easier for these people to operate before, especially if the person wasn't aware. But with the internet and people speaking about all of this stuff on the internet and disseminating it and saying like, hey, this is the 7 jump, like, hey, this is what like magic has been trying to do, hey, blah, 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 there's more of a chance that somehow that message is going to become widespread and people will know. I realize that that is a complete reach. Like most people are just going to ignore whatever's going on here, but it's sort of like their job becomes more difficult the more people become aware. And that's why it's important to keep giving the messages even if no one believes you. Even if nothing comes of it. Because you don't know, at some point, like let's say, right, that whatever window of opportunity we have for the 7 jump, whatever, it fails. It fails again and something bad happens. Like it did the last times. That doesn't mean that the next time around, when it comes around again, because it always comes around again, that the information at that point would not be useful. Because the more you talk about it, the more it gets out there, the more it will eventually at least be heard by someone. So a video or a podcast or recording that you make and put out now might not become relevant until a decade from now. I mean, we would all hope that whatever, like, however this is happening this time around with this particular cycle, we would hope for a success. But I mean, come on. I'm talking about a very large thing here. And that's also something that these people would bank on. And the fact that I'm talking about like total human liberation and like uniting a community of beings and all of that, like even if someone believed me, they would sit back and say, that's impossible. There's nothing to it. Okay. So that's that on that. Because these people don't even care if like you talk about them explicitly. They're like, yeah, nobody believes that shit. That's all crackpot shit. That's how we've presented it in the media. And we know that there are people into it. All we have to do is determine who that audience is and cater to them. With the Consciousness Expo and Gaia TV and Hay House. And David Icke. All we need to do is make sure they're sitting down and just listening to someone talk and tell them what they want to hear, and we can profit off of that, and the speakers can profit off of that, but it's still not doing anything. All right, final advice, outcome. So this is why there's lots of being activity going on, because like it's like, the people are restless, like it's happening again. It's happening again. Will we save Laura Palmer this time? Who knows? My traumatized babies and mentally ill Barbies, that gum you like is coming back in style. And hey, if we don't succeed, I'll see you in 25 years. Okay, the work. There's that upside down emperor. They are like, bro, I'm gonna have to do another reading where I see if I can figure out. There's the Hierophant. They like have a way of detecting shifts, dude. That's like really reliable. That's interesting to me. Because I mean, typically people who are sensitive like pick up on the shifts, but it's like, this is like something that has way more structure. This is not just me going like, oh, when this happened, I felt like a disturbance in the force. Like, no, like they have some sort of like potentially like machinery. It's kind of like a seismograph, but it's not a seismograph. But it's like something with a lot of computers potentially. Something with a lot of computers. And I've heard that like AI is making it easier. Yes, there's something I'm telling you right now, if like things keep trending like they are and y'all do keep giving these messages or whatever, you're going to be offered some sort of money to stop. Some sort of significant thing. Oh my God, what if that's like the big success? It's not. This is something separate. I was gonna say, what if that is the big success for the first quarter of 2024? What if that success is not really a success? I don't think so though. I think the mega happy timeline and all of that positive energy, it's kind of sort of connected to the clown, but not really. Like, you can successfully get the world onto the mega happy timeline and not complete the 7 jump nor have total human liberation. The mega happy timeline is just like a period where people in general are trending towards like happiness, abundance, and positivity, and like spiritual awakening and things like that, and more like coming together of a community. But it's like you would still, like, in the mega happy timeline, you would obviously still have things like violent crime and wars and stuff like that. It's just that for most of the populace, you wouldn't be experiencing that. And also you would be doing economically much better, and there would just be more like harmony between people in general. Like the mega happy timeline is just kind of like essentially a little bit more like the 90s, the 80s or the 90s, because there was still horrific shit going on in there, but for like certain swaths of the population, it was like people were kind of on like this more positive like bent. So it's more like that. Because that's how, like, you're saying, like, how did the boomers do so well? It wasn't really any of their doing. They had something like this behind them, where like things were cheaper, or they could like buy, like they had a lot of stuff behind them that allowed them to get into the position that they were able to get in. When I'm saying that there's a window of opportunity for something like that to happen again. But it's not necessary. It's like not like I said, the mega happy timeline isn't directly connected to the clown or the 7 jump or anything like this. Totally separate, which would make sense because most people are not going to be on the clown and the 7 jump. They're going to be on the mega happy timeline stuff, which is fun. Yes, you will be offered 30 pieces of silver. That's the Knight of Wands, by the way. Someone would come in to make you one. We've got to make them an offer they can't refuse. Make them an offer that, yes, likely it would come. I'm telling you, this is like a major offer. Like, you would be boosted up. But this is also calling judgment. Like, this is a particular, like, energetic alignment. And when that alignment, like, kind of clocks in at a certain phase, they go, oh, like, we got to go actually do something now. Like, this person actually has a chance of like actually doing some shit, so we need to go like offer them money. Offer them money, go offer them their dream job, go get them in a position of like worldly power so they don't want to disrupt the world. And I want to be someone, what did he say? I want to be someone famous, like an actor. Like, this is like, I'm telling you, the agents are going to be like, it's like, I want to go back and I don't want to remember nothing. And I want to be somebody like well thought of or important, like an actor. It's like, I swear to you, it's something like that. Yeah, there's some sort of thing. There's some sort of thing. This is all talking about like this energetic, how these people can detect something shifting to where it would be likely that something would actually happen in materiality. And they don't even want thing one happening. They don't even want that thing one happening, or at least the major thing. But the energy has to get like to a certain point where it would register as, oh, something major now has the potentiality of happening. And that is likely the selection of the conductor. So no, we're not getting any Jesus on this. This is all very, very oddly cloak and dagger in like a very like non-threatening way. Super interesting. So, my traumatized babies and mentally ill Barbies, I am your GM, the eternal game master for this, the game of life. I am also, of course, the greatest magician of the age, and perhaps the greatest magician of all time. And together, you and I will perform the greatest magic trick of all time. We will reverse the polarities of the world, make America great for once, fly this boat to the moon somehow, shift our world onto the mega happy timeline, leaving it a much better place than it ever was before. Because we are, my traumatized babies and mentally ill Barbies, crawling on the planet's face, some insects called the human race, lost in time and lost in space. End meaning.